So that's fine. What flag is that? Oh, okay. You've got the Sharky Shark flag. That's cool. Let's see if I can get that into the screenshot. I don't. Kind of in a weird spot. I'll just take a shot like this for now. That's fun. Alright. So, general commentary. Things I might have done wrong in the battle. Okay, that's fair. Let's talk about your flag setup here. You're playing in a tier 5 ship. So, personally, the XP earnings aren't that high. I wouldn't run XP gaining flags on this. Unless you're trying to grind a commander. Even then, I don't know. I've done it a few times personally myself. And it hasn't yielded too much success personally, so just putting that out there is something to consider. So, you know, credit gain is one thing you could do, sure, I suppose, but I wouldn't be running XP flags. That's just me. And the credit reduction at tier 5 I definitely wouldn't run. If you are going to run XP flags, as always, you've got this looks like the default camo, and you might want to run a 100% booster camo as well. The repair booster is a good one to run though. This is tier 5. You have a good chance of being bottom tier at tier 5 in a tier 7 game. So running a repair booster helps, and any sort of combat flag to improve the efficiency of the ship is generally what I would run, assuming you have extras. So that is good. The fire reduction is good. Both really nice. Texas has great anti-air, so running the anti-air booster might also be a consideration too. That might be one worth looking into. Other than that, I see you've got standard consumables. I told you, if I remember correctly, in email. Personally, your decision is yours when you want to use premium consumables and when you don't. Personally, I use them all the time. I've got a ton of credits though, so I can understand why you might not want to pay for those because, you know, credits might be a limiting factor for you right now. That being said, again, tier 5 typically sees tier 7, so it might be a good idea to run premium consumables just to give you that little extra edge in battle. And you had premium account during battle. That makes sense. How am I able to free look during replays? It's very simple. So in replays, if I click the mouse, I'm looking at this is a Leopard 9 or Alzu's look right now. If I click the mouse, now I've got the ability to pan around and I can zoom in and out from the ship. If I hit now Control Shift Backspace on the right side of the keyboard, you'll notice that all of a sudden the camera stops. And now I've got the ability to move the camera around. I use the mouse and I use the arrow keys to move the camera. I can zoom in, I can zoom out, and then the number pad allows you to fine-tune how you move the camera and stuff like that. So you don't need to use the mouse. I will warn you, it takes a lot of practice, and I still screw this up every now and then to be able to pan the screen around. Okay. Okay, so because you had the free XP flags, that's okay. You had the premium account, that's fine. That really does help with grinding XP, so that's cool. That's fine. Like I said, you will get a little bit more if you were to grind, or if you were to use that 100% XP camo. But whatever, it's all good. Premium account definitely helps with that. So I want to talk real quick about matchmaking because you have found a top tier match. Congratulations. There's 2 Texases and a Gremiashi in your division, so you are totally not trying to seal club, right? And we've got 2 carriers on either side. This is beautiful for you because you've got the anti-air, so does your division mate. When I see that, I would typically say Texases need to go off on their own so that their AA bubbles aren't overlapping, and therefore you're able to shield parts of your fleet, which you guys are doing looking at the mini-map, which is awesome. By the way, shout out to this guy in the New York, 50 Shades of Pie. That's an awesome name, I gotta say. The other thing to keep in mind is, what are your threats? So your biggest threat, in my opinion, is Shenyang and Minakaze. Torpedo boats that have good concealment and torpedoes that outrange their concealment are a real threat. If I see an American destroyer, I'm not as concerned. Or a Russian destroyer, I'm not as concerned in general. But torpedo destroyers, I'm very concerned with. Furutaka has torpedoes that I believe also outrange, so that's an issue. Emerald, I think, got a torpedo buff recently, but I mean, it's made of cheese and you can poke holes in that. Omaha is not too much of a threat to you. Congos, your side can be pierced by Congo and the Koenig, depending on range and stuff like that. New York also has pretty good penetration. Wyoming, not so much. So your battleships could be a threat, a couple of the cruisers, and definitely the destroyers. Now, when you're looking at this map, it's a standard battle, which means you have to cover both flanks. So I do like that your Texas is going on one side, you're going on the other. You're ensuring that the flanks are covered. You have to be ready to go back at a moment's notice to defend. And notice how close these caps are. It's really easy to go back and defend. Here.
Enemy force sighted on the horizon.
What's up, Caligula? How are you? And SAT score, yeah, right? Totally hacking. Alright, Omaha. Now, look at your ammo choice. You should be running AP at the start. I don't know why you're running HE. Maybe you're thinking about the destroyer concern and you want to help whack a destroyer. Oh, I just missed some of that chat there. That's okay. See, like here, you've got, I mean, some people would actually argue that you want to use HE against cruisers at low tier because you have a good chance of penetrating their magazine and causing a detonation. I don't know, you could do that. Personally, I would just focus on AP, which you've changed to after the salvo. That makes sense. Now, looking at the way things are going, your Omaha is about to get torpedoed. It's turning out when you are in a cruiser, even a battleship, and you've got torpedo bombers coming towards you, or torpedoes generally, you want to turn into them, not out from them. You have a better chance of dodging them all. Still, he only took one torpedo, so that's okay. Yeah, like SAT score said, it's very easy to Citadel angled cruisers at tier 5, so yep. What's up, 1776? How are you? Yeah, you can get HE Citadels, especially with the British ships. Oh, nice Citadel in the Congo there. Your anti-air is going off, so it'd be a good idea to control-click on that fighter squadron right here. It's too late now. You've already shot down a couple of planes, but control-clicking increases DPS by a small amount, so that helps. Don't have to worry about the horn anymore because for whatever reason your cruiser decided to beach and sit broadside, so that hurts. I do like your position here. It's a little pause. Okay, it's a little concerning now. You are definitely far up in the fight. You've got an Omaha near you, Kirov behind you. Your Gremiashi division mate, I would really like to see him here. I don't know why he went into the middle. But he should be in front of you trying to screen for torpedoes and enemy destroyers. That being said, I wanted to draw your attention to a couple of things. One, Shenyang has been detected and is most likely going to send torpedoes your way. Off the top of my head, I don't remember the Shenyang's torpedo range. Maybe somebody in chat can chime in with that. I just assume these days when I see destroyers, especially newer ones, I think of, I just think of 8 to 10 kilometer torpedoes. So you're within that range. I would immediately be thinking about dodging and not charging at him at full speed. You have a cruiser right here that's dying, and you've got a beach right here. So a common thing that you could do to juke the destroyer, and this is actually a lot of fun, is you can crash into the sinking ship. The sinking ship will actually block torpedoes from you. Or you can crash in this island. If you turn right hard and crash in the island, if this guy here, if this destroyer follows the torpedo lead indicator, the lead indicator is not going to know that you're going to crash. So it's going to give the indicator over to this side and tell him to send torpedoes this way. He'll send his torpedoes out, you'll beach, and the torpedoes will just go right past you. So just some advanced tricks for you. Oh, thank you, SAT. So it's 7.3 kilometer for Shenyang, which at 7.8, you're in range now, and you can get punished for them pretty easily. These are deep water torpedoes. You have very little warning that it's coming, that the torps are coming your way. Now the Congo you're shooting at, I would be shooting at this New York. One, because you can get more turrets on target, and two, because you're able to then keep an angle to the Congo while doing it. I like the fact that you stopped and you're reversing here. You've recognized that you've overextended, that a lot of the people around you have died, so there's no point in rushing in there. Requesting assistance is nice to ask for. Here comes those deep water torpedoes that we kind of knew were coming. Perfect. Your aim is fine. Maybe a little on the low side because you caught that bounce on the belt. He's angled, so you typically want to aim a little bit higher just to try to get some hits in the superstructure more. But regardless of that, you're doing okay. Your buddy in the Gremiashi should be able to torpedo the New York pretty soon here, so all you have to do is keep the New York coming at you. So reversing is good. Oh god, this Bogue has just derped right into Shenyang, so he's dead. Now you're going a little bit broadside here. I wouldn't go. Here's a thing that happens to Wyoming owners and people of New York and Texas. You try to get that last turret into the shot. Actually, I think it's this one here. And in doing so, you give an awful lot of angle. So you have to be really careful not to give too much angle for that. Here come the torps from the Gremiashi. He's shooting him. I don't know why he's shooting the New York, because look, the New York is now responding and reacting to that. No point in shooting him. The torps have done it. Again, control-click the planes. Now you've got a good shot on this Congo, and your guns are all ready, so it's time for you to scope in and nail him. Probably typing something in chat, though. Omaha. Alright, that should be your target. If you're shooting at the Omaha, you're too short. If you're shooting at the Congo, you're dead set. It's hard to tell which one you're shooting at. It looked like it was locked on the Omaha. Okay, good. So your Gremiashi took out the Shenyang, so that's good. Now you're on one fire. Don't DCP until the second. Now would be a good time to use your repair party. Now you're turning so hard, you're out-turning your turrets. So you want to be careful with that. Don't go full rudder. Go like a half rudder. Because you don't need to go full right now. You're not trying to dodge torpedoes and stuff. Oh, beautiful. Alright, DCP time. You're on double fire. DCP. And repair. Control-click the dive bombers. You're not using your repair. I don't know why you're not using your repair still. Now, you're in smoke. You're safe a little bit, but if you keep moving through it, you're going to come out of there. You also don't want to shoot unless you get out of the smoke. There you go, you notice the heal. Now, if you would have done that when I first mentioned it, I just want to point out your second heal would be available pretty darn soon. Nice salvo on that broadside Congo, though. He has given you, again, control-click the torp bombers. Look like you just did that. Congo is shooting HE at you. Wow. Meanwhile, your division mate is still alive over here. It looks like the Langley is AFK, or all of his planes are dead. Wyoming and Texas are by themselves against the Minakaze, so I would be talking to the Gremmy. After this Koenig dies, he needs to get up to the cap as quickly as possible. Yep, there goes the Wyoming. Good, so your division mate, the other guy in the Texas there, is saying there's a destroyer here, can't leave the cap. That's good communication. And you can see now that the carrier is about to die by the V-170, and this other carrier is low on planes. So that Langley is no longer a threat, which is good. He wasn't really a threat to you in the first place, but boy, would it be nice to have that heal now. This is good though. You're getting behind cover. You know, you were asking about general stuff. The things that I'm seeing you do now are far better than what I've seen on your New Mexico replays. Overall, you feel like you're more comfortable. It seems like you're more, you know what to do, you know what to expect, you know how to play the ship, and you're ready. Slow down here, by the way. Slow down. There's no point in coming out of the island at full speed and then being shot at. See, had you slowed down, you would have capped him out. Instead, you're going to get shot at, and you're going to lose some of your cap, and obviously you'll lose some HP as well. See, that's all hit points that you didn't have to lose because you could have stayed behind the island. And now you're opening up your broad to him. I would have kept your bow pointed towards him. By showing him your stern, you're showing him the weaker part of your armor. Control-click the planes. Slow down. Now you're going to take one. Maybe. Oh! Up, up. Expert dodge. Oh! 18K. Good. I do like though that you're turning back. You're giving him a narrow profile, bouncy bounce right there, little pen in the butt, another pen in your superstructure, but you're mitigating a lot of this damage. And now you get to pull your turrets out. He's turning in, so a little bit closer and in would be the appropriate choice. That's alright though. You still got the base cap and you still won. So yeah, I mean overall, this is a good example of keeping guns in, recognizing when you're overextending and backing up and getting out of that, and keeping your influence high on the battlefield. These are things that we didn't see with your New Mexico replays, but we're seeing here. So that's telling me one of two things. Either one, you've improved tremendously since we've seen your replays last, which is awesome. And if that's the case, awesome, great. You know, hands down to that. The second is you might just feel more comfortable at tier 5. And if that's okay. And if that's the case, if you feel more comfortable at tier 5, then keep playing tier 5. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you've learned a ton, great. Keep on playing the New Mex and work your way up to the Colorado.